Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Sam, and in this video I just wanted to read a couple books together. I'm in the middle of filming another reading vlog that you probably saw last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, but I have to put that one down to finish off a couple of library holds, and so I figured why not just start another reading vlog and just read a couple of books together. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. There's not really any rhyme or reason to this vlog. It's just I need to read some things and kind of want some of these books to be in reading vlogs, I guess. Without further ado, let's just talk about what I'm reading right now. And so over the weekend, I got roughly 50% of the way through Swept Away by Beth O'Leary. My library hold for this ebook is returned now. So I tried to read as much as I could over the weekend, and then I'm going to be finishing it on audio. In this one, we are following our two main characters, Lexi and Zeke, who meet in this pub that is attached to a marina in the UK, and they have a one-night stand on this houseboat that both of them think is theirs. And then come the next morning, they are out in the middle of the ocean, lost at sea. There is a lot of depth and trauma tied in with these characters and the things that they have recently gone through or things that they are trying to work through in this current time. But there's also a lot that I'm like, so my dad is a boat mechanic. So I kind of grew up around boats, although I don't have a lot of knowledge. Over the past summer, I did get my boating license, so I do have limited recent knowledge of properly taking care of boats and boat safety and everything. And why does neither of these people have any knowledge? Lexi's mom owns this pub on the marina. They've been around boats, they've been around this marina, and then her mom owns the houseboat for a period of time. And then also Zeke's dad owned this houseboat, and he went for many, many years. And why is there not a single safety thing? It just seems a little far-fetched, to be honest. And the things that they're going through, there's a lot of injury that's happening. I'm halfway through, and they've been on the boat for just over a week. And in the grand scheme, nothing's really happened. I feel like they're not trying to get anywhere. I don't know. It just seems very odd to me. There's no resources on this boat that can help you try to get out of a sticky situation. Nothing. Not a single thing. But I am still enjoying it. I never want to put it down. I want to see what's going to happen next. I really like our characters together. They have a lot of walls up. They have a lot of trauma that they're working through. And they're just learning to be there for each other. They're learning what each other needs, what their reactions are to certain things. It's really sweet. Obviously, they're not on this boat for very long, but at the same time, spending 24 hours with each other in this life or death situation is kind of a slow burn situation. So I am enjoying it, but I'm switching to the audiobook of that one today. So we'll see how the audiobook compares. And then the next book that I will be starting is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. If you've been around for a minute, Abby Jimenez and I don't tend to get along, so I'm intrigued to see what I think about this one. I feel like a lot of people were disappointed by this book, and there have been a lot of situations where popular books or authors I tend to have the opposite reaction to. So when very commonly people don't like a book, I tend to like it. So I'm hoping that's going to be this situation. Also, one of our main characters is named Samantha. So is this going to be weird for me to read this? We'll see. I'll let you know. I don't think I've ever read a book where I have the same name. Maybe. I don't remember, but we'll see. Those are all my book updates for now. I'm excited to be continuing this reading vlog. I'm going to go before the sun totally takes over, but I'll check in with you once I have some updates. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I am working from home today because my car is due for service. So stuck at home, which is fine. But I wanted to give some reading updates for this video. First of all, I did end up listening to like 2.5 hours maybe of Swept Away by Bethel Leary yesterday. This book is painful. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's some things that are taking place in this book that are thrown in just for trauma's sake. Because unnecessarily traumatically graphic, if that makes sense. Like, there's not necessarily anything gory that's happening or descriptive, but there's just like a lot of heartache and terrifying things happening to our characters that in some way feel a bit unnecessary. And I also still can't get behind the fact that there's not a single thing on this boat with like proper boat safety. That part of it's just so unrealistic, and I just can't get behind it because there's some things that are happening that I'm like, well, you wouldn't be in this situation if you had a little crumb of boat safety knowledge. Anyway, I am still enjoying it. There's a lot of like comments about life and treasuring the simple things, I guess. So I will probably finish that off tomorrow. I don't really listen to audiobooks when I'm at home, so not much to share about that one. But then I started this book yesterday and also read for a good hour today, and that is Sail Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I'm almost halfway through. I'm terrified to say anything about this book because I don't want my reading experience to change, but I'm thoroughly enjoying this book so far. I just love our characters' connection. It's so sweet. I've been smiling at so many parts, and then in the next line, there's something completely heartbreaking. In this one, we are following Xavier and Samantha, and they meet because Samantha rescues this kitten, and Xavier is a vet. And they have this like incredible one night together, and then Samantha moves home to help her family care for her mother with dementia. And so there's just a lot of quotes and a lot of themes around this book about life, treasuring like the memories and making core memories, which I really enjoy. I really like the messaging in this book. There is like something that's just like very blunt, like very traumatic things that are very blunt. So she does have a warning in the beginning of this book, which I didn't read the whole thing of because I don't personally have any triggers, so I'll go into books blind. And so I didn't want to know any of the triggers, but there's definitely triggers for this one. There is also an overwhelming amount of references to the ACOTAR book, specifically to Reese, and it's just, we don't need that anymore. One time it's a little bit like hee hee ha ha, but also a little too on the nose with like pop culture references and stuff. But it's a lot. It's been like 4 or 5 times at this point, but I'm thoroughly enjoying this one. I'm very happy that I'm having a good experience with this one so far. I kind of had a hunch that I was going to enjoy this one just because of the way that other people felt about this one, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. There's also there's some really good quotes in this one and really beautiful messages. It's making me feel all the things. So I'm terrified what's going to happen in the rest of this book, but so far I'm enjoying it. Unfortunately, I do have a lot of like housekeeping sort of things to do today, but I'm hoping to be able to read another good chunk of that today. I will catch up with you once I have more updates. Hello, everybody. I have some book updates for you. I did finish both of the books that I was reading. I was trying to have a very productive but chill day today, and I don't know if I really have gotten anything done, but let's just discuss these books. So first of all, I did end up finishing the audiobook of Swept Away, and I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. I really loved the narrators, especially, and how our characters learned a lot about themselves and each other. But I do feel like there was some unnecessary trauma dumping in here in terms of the situations and the events that happened to our characters. Yeah, just really love the ending, really love the way that everything played out and the relationship dynamics. I do feel there was some parts of the ending that were a bit rushed and felt, I don't know, a bit out of left field. But overall, I just really enjoyed it. I just thought it was a really sweet story and definitely made me emotional at some parts. And just really also had a message about learning what the important things are in life and what truly matters to you and the things that you like actually want out of life. So I think 4 stars for that one. Really thoroughly enjoyed, but I do feel like some of the trauma dumping and the way that the events took place was a little unnecessary, and also I couldn't get behind the fact that there was not a single boat safety thing on this boat. But then I also ended up finishing Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Guys, I actually really enjoyed this one. I think I'm going to settle on a 4.5 star because there were some times that I was getting the 5-star feelings, but basically immediately after I finished this, I almost entirely forgot all about it. So definitely didn't sit with me that much. But I really appreciated that this was a very realistic story in the long distance relationships and the sort of feelings that you get in those situations. Now, my boyfriend and I are not 2,000 miles apart or whatever they were apart, and I do see him very regularly. However, it's difficult not having somebody able to come just at the drop of a hat or be able to see them literally every day. So I get that in a sense, and also just everything else that our characters were dealing with. I do feel like it was one of those situations that I knew as a reader, one of a handful of things would have happened by the end of this book in order for our characters to have a happily ever after or whatever I am expecting as a reader. And so that part wasn't necessarily a surprise, but I guess the way that things came out and the way that our characters learned about each other and learned what the things that were most important to them and just embracing all of the little moments, it was just so beautiful. And yeah, teared up a couple times. Really love this one. And this also, like, I don't know if it necessarily inspired me or maybe it just resonated with me and just made me want to do all of these things and embrace every second and make the most out of everything. That's enough of that. I think I might add one more little novella into this reading vlog because I really only have had these 2 books. And anything else that I want to read after this novella, I want to put in another vlog. So I will check in once I start that. I'm thrilled that I ended up really enjoying this one. And this is why I don't DNF books and why I just continually said that I was going to pick up more of her books because I like knowing how much everybody else likes her books. I knew there had to be one that resonated with me. That's it for now. I will check in with you once I've started the novella. Hello, everybody. I am filming this update in the car because I realized that if I don't do it now, it's going to be too late. So I have started the last book that I'm going to include in this reading vlog, and that is Unrelenting Winds by Melissa K. Rorick. This is the last book that's part of the Lady of Darkness series, and this is a novella that takes place before anything in the rest of the series, but you're supposed to read it at the end because it does spoil some things. And in this novella, we are following different characters that I expected. I'm not going to share who because if you have not read the series at all, that'll give some things away. But we are following some side characters, some characters that I didn't expect to be following. And it's kind of fun seeing some of these characters, but also knowing everything that comes. So I guess it's kind of fun seeing how everything started and how everything started to like ignite all of the things that started coming in place in Lady of Darkness. But also I'm finding it very boring. Like nothing's very happening. It's very like cordial conversations, and that's not the vibe. So yeah, it's only like 118 pages. So I'm hoping to finish it off either today or first thing tomorrow morning and then just be done with the series. Hello, everybody. I'm here to do my final check-in and wrap up this video. I did end up finishing Unrelenting Winds this morning. Obviously, I don't want to speak too much about this book because even knowing who the characters are would give it away. The first half was really dragging for me. I was finding it to be very slow, but I'm happy to say that the second half of this book was a lot more interesting to me and I enjoyed it a lot more. We do get a bit of a romance in this one, and seeing some of our characters' backstories of how they came into the situation that they were in the rest of the series. So that was definitely fun, learning a bit more about the powers and how they work. I do wish it was a little bit longer. I feel like a lot of the main conflict was kind of glossed over or wasn't really expanded on the way that I expected it to. Like the ending felt very rushed. All of a sudden, our characters are kind of together and figuring everything out. But overall, I did end up enjoying this one. I thought it was a sweet addition to the series, but it was definitely nothing super special to me. So I think I'm settling on still a 3-star. But that is everything for this week's video. I wanted to just do like a fun reading vlog, just reading a couple things that I had out from the library that I needed to read and kind of just wanted to pick up. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like so that I know. And if you would like to find me on the other corners of the internet, all of my links are listed down below. I hope that you have a great rest of your week and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.